We are live. Welcome, everybody, to the TBC Direct for June 12th, 2018. A normal, everyday, average Tuesday.
Yep.
Right on time.
By the way, if anybody ever needs to do a Google Hangouts on air, make sure you're using Google Chrome.
Yes.
Yep. Because Google hates Mozilla.
We're going to be talking about Nintendo's E3 press conference, or Nintendo Direct, however you like to call it. First, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Scott.
I am Simeon.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Glenn.
It's going to be a great show today. Make sure you're chatting along with us. We've got an eye on the chat there, so join in the fun. Guys, let's get right into this. First of all, everybody's initial feelings on E3. Why don't you start us out, Simeon?
My initial feelings are mediocre.
I was afraid you were buffering there for a second.
I was, just a little bit.
Okay, do you want to expand on that now or later?
Later.
Ryan?
Yeah, mine was pretty disappointed, to be honest. They spent way too much time on Smash, but we'll talk about that later.
Who knew that could be a problem?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll just talk about one of my problems with it later, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Mr. Glennis, the menace himself.
Okay, it was so bad that it was kind of ironically funny for a time, but please stop calling me that.
I know. I think that's your new gamer tag.
No. Which was the one that worked? There was one that worked.
Doc Glenn.
Doc Glenn. Yes, that's right.
I like that. It's familiar. It's an informal, but it does kind of speak to my more kind of academic nature. I think it's a fitting nickname.
You got it.
Anyway, but we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about my opinions.
Yes. Yes.
So I thought it was kind of content light. There weren't other than Smash. There weren't any big hitters. There was no talk of like Metroid Prime 4. There was no, new Mario games. But I think if you judge it for what was in there, and we also didn't get information on some stuff like the No More Heroes game and all that. But I think if you just so there we could go on and on about all the stuff that wasn't here, but I think what was here was pretty good. I just wish there were more announcements. That would be my thing. Is it was okay, but it was kind of content light.
I agree with everything said so far, and I just can't win with E3. Last year, I heard that the Direct was going to be 25 minutes. So I was like, what's the point? That's so short. It's going to be so lame. I'm not even going to watch it live. And then I see a tweet that Metroid Prime 4 is announced. I'm like, I have to go watch this. And then this year, I'm like, we're guaranteed Smash 5. So my hype level was through the roof. And we got exactly that. But it was done so badly, I guess. I think I shouldn't say badly. Here's what it is.
Yeah, you should say poorly.
Yes.
It was good for a Smash Direct.
Yeah, they spent over 25 minutes just talking about Smash. So it's like more than last year's entire Direct was one game.
Yep. So it was good for a Smash Direct, but it was not the format that we needed for an E3 presentation.
No.
And it was especially weird because about 15 minutes in, Simeon and I looked at each other and we're like, are they getting the bad stuff out of the way? The answer is no. They were getting everything out of the way. And then instead of saying, like, we have one more game to show you that we are going to heavily feature in this year's E3, enjoy, leading into Smash Bros., we were left wondering, how long is the Smash Bros. Segment going to be? And turns out it was the entire rest of the thing. So it felt very unbalanced to me.
Yeah, I literally said out loud, and I like pretend I'm on camera when I watch Nintendo Directs just because it's more fun.
You can record yourself next time. Just set up a camera and then post it.
I considered it, but it's like I need to get this done as soon as possible because I'm going to be talking about this in a few hours. But where was I going with this? When it ended. I remember the first thing I said is, really? That's it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all? There's not any more?
It was sad when Simeon and I kept looking at our bingo card longingly. Like, if you could just do this, instead we didn't even ask for that much crazy stuff.
No, I thought for sure
Yeah, you
that
just
we
have to get 5 in a row, Nintendo.
I thought that we had some really safe bets on here.
Oh, hey.
There were some weird ones.
Grand Prix is fake.
Well, they do still. Okay, well, I'll mark it off, but I'll be prepared to unmark it off.
We did not get a bingo.
In case you didn't see, Japan did win Splatoon, but Zero did win Smash. So
yeah, so we didn't get that one.
Yeah, okay, just making sure.
So yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not counting our free space.
Oh,
total. And
So,
we don't.
No new classic edition. Get that one too.
Yeah, I guess okay.
So that's 7.
I mean, E3 isn't over, so we could.
I mean,
but yeah.
What is the schedule for the rest of E3?
Just treehouse. I mean, normal treehouse thing for a few hours both days.
Do we know what they're playing?
No.
Smash Bros.
They said last year they did announce like 2 different games. That the Sushi Striker was Wednesday last year when they announced that. So it'll probably won't be big games, but they'll probably bring something.
Yeah, we can probably expect. Oh, hey, just a second. MacTX, welcome to the stream.
Yay!
Yay, so we're not just talking to ourselves.
It's really funny. I tweeted that we were going live with this, and Mac responded with audio and video.
Yeah.
Also,
Justin Aquatoad McGowan. I want to say that's how it's pronounced.
Yes.
Let's see. Definitely don't count Grand Prix as fake. Just not ready to show yet. Eurogamer did confirm they heard of it too. I don't really keep up with these things. Is Eurogamer like really trustworthy when it comes to rumors?
I'd say medium, and you might have a point there, Aquatoad. I'm generally more skeptical about stuff like that, especially when it comes to what Retro is working on, because everybody is just scrambling to believe that Retro is making their dreams come true. And also, I'm sure that Eurogamer did hear that, but that doesn't mean that their sources are correct. It remains to be seen. We can retroactively make ourselves lose our bingo card even worse. If
that was intentional, right?
What's that?
Retroactive.
Whatever, guys. Let's quickly touch on some games besides Smash Bros. That were announced.
Okay. Yeah, it's really nice that Nintendo actually puts timestamps in their descriptions so that we have a nice, easy list here.
Yes.
Oh, I have a list as well. You want to go in chronological order, though, with your list, Glenn?
Sure.
Okay.
So the Direct, it opens with Daemon X Machina. Wow, that was a him run trailer. Like, it just explodes into the face and then cuts off.
I know. The cutoff was so abrupt that I just turned to Scott and I'm like, is that it? It was like,
yeah. I found that kind of hilarious. And also, I think it also was kind of smart because it was so surprising. It caught you off guard. That sort of put you in this mindset that you were going to be caught off guard for the rest of the Direct. So just from like a marketing and psychological perspective, it was pretty. I'd say it was clever. I'm not sure if it paid off 100%. But
what they should have done is had the robot with explosions behind it come back randomly in between different announcements with like a big guitar riff and then go away again.
Yes.
Well, that would have been. Yeah, you could have achieved mimetic status with that.
Subliminal messaging the entire time, like, oh, there's the robot.
The cel-shaded art style made it kind of look like No More Heroes mixed with the mechs from what's that game that you hate?
Xenoblade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Yes, you do.
I hate the trailers.
So what do you guys think? It was, the trailer was just basically robots shooting each other with hard rock in the background. And that speaks to my testosterone.
I think that some of that was gameplay, but it might not have been. But I think it was. But it did. it didn't matter to me whether or not it was gameplay. It didn't get me excited. It's like, oh, there's another mech game.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If it's like has a lot of customization, like say Custom Robo or what's that one that From Software did?
Dark Souls.
No, they're famous for a robot series as well. It's kind of a cult classic, and it's
Is it that one that requires the whole huge setup that you
no,
have to have?
That's
Heavy Battalion or Steel Battalion, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen it before in used game stores, but it has tons of customization as well. Maybe someone in the chat can help me out. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye out for it. I need to know more before I'm not like sold 100% because I just saw robots blowing stuff up. That's cool, but
yeah,
I need to know
more gameplay. But it reminded me a lot of Sin and Punishment. Like if the gameplay is actually how it was in the trailer, it kind of looked like that kind of shoot 'em up.
There's one way to beat Sin and Punishment, and that is just don't even include a story.
Yep.
And you've already got a leg up.
Right.
So.
Well, most Nintendo games don't really have much of a story, so it's
yeah, but this
really
is not first party, which is interesting because it was a cold open without Reggie saying like, "Here's something cool that our third party partners are working on." So we were kind of left waiting to the end of that trailer to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, like I said, I think that was just to get your attention and sort of throw you off balance,
All right, what's next?
Well, next I want to say MacTX says that the only thing he remembers was Smash. Everything else just seemed kind of insignificant.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll get to Smash in a second.
We'll have to remind him of what else happened in the.
Yeah, let's jog Mac's memory here. So up next is the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC. Does anyone here have Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
No.
Simeon was getting visibly mad during this.
Okay, so this is what made me mad about E3 today is the more I thought about what I wanted to say during this stream, the more I realized how much overlap it was going to have with material that I could use for our next podcast. Be on the lookout for it. Of the art of trailers, what not to do. And it's
have a grandpa dragon talk for like 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yes, that was worse. That one was worse. But this one, it was just as bad. And worse than that was Fire Emblem, where it showed a guy walking down a hallway for like 15 seconds and then it showed a menu of the game, like just a menu and dialogue of the game.
Are we going straight to Fire Emblem?
Does anybody have anything else to say?
I have some things to say. It looked like, it's weird. I actually did buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but it was a present for my brother who, at present, I don't think owns a Switch. But hey, I told him, hey, it comes out on your birthday. Do you want me to get it? He's like, yeah, that seems. I like Xenoblade, and that seems poetic. So get it for me. But I'm not really interested in Xenoblade. I don't think any of us. Huh?
Did you ask him how the cartridge tastes since he can't play it? He can just lick it and try and like absorb
holding on to it.
Anyway, what was I saying? I mean, on one hand, there were parts where I was going, "Oh, that cliche." But I do think it's kind of interesting. If you look at like the party configurations, it doesn't look like the main character was in some of those parties for some of the fights. So I think it's going to be like there's a flashback, and you don't get to and you get to play in the past because I know there is like some ancient civilization fobbing stuff in that game. But hey, Sparkling Cyanide, and so. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting because it does look like it's going to, for fans of that game, it is going to be significantly expand and round out the world. But yeah, none of us are Xenoblade fans, sadly. So
Well, I didn't beat the first one, but I played a lot of it. I really enjoyed it. But then there was just other things I was playing when 2 came out, and I knew how much of a time sink Xenoblade is, so I just had to stay away from it. I knew it would envelop my life.
What is next? Is Fire Emblem the next one?
Hang on.
2 anime.
Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu.
Oh,
Let's
yes,
go
that's
Eevee.
right.
They spent way too much time on a game that they had already announced and said things that they'd already said before. And
yeah, and they even said, now, we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, and it's just...
you didn't just mention it. You said everything you just said.
I think it would have been okay if it's like, and here's a sneak peek of what is going to happen next year, and they like just show some renders of the trainers for the next Pokemon game.
Hold the phone. Sparkling Cyanide did not watch E3. He came straight from work to here. Should he be watching us right now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to tell him everything he needs to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be more entertaining, too.
All right.
Really, it's whatever Sparkling wants.
No.
If Sparkling would rather have our hot take on it than see the direct and then hear us talk about that's
Okay. So why did they have to do the Pokemon announcement 2 weeks ago? Shouldn't they have just held it for E3?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if they had shown this game at E3, people would have been like, is that it? So when they had like a statement and could also say, but don't worry, there's going to be a more complete game later, I don't know. I think the hype surrounding E3 could have caused some backfire. But
okay.
I don't know. I think they should have. I think it would have been permissible if they just if they just said and showed something from the one that's coming out like next year or 2 years from now or whenever.
Yeah.
I think that would have kind of justified wading through all that boring stuff.
Yep.
I agree with that. 100%.
Honestly, today they should have explained that this was the transition title for the one next year again. Mm-hmm. That's the point they needed to hit, because I had a friend posting on Twitter like he didn't see anything about the game next year. So he was like, oh my goodness, the capture mechanics are the Pokemon Go and you don't even battle wild Pokemon anymore. What are they doing to Pokemon? And I was like, no. This is like the transition one trying to get the Pokemon Go players to like the main series Pokemon.
Yeah. This is the
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it is kind of weird that they didn't even mention that. I thought that was not smart. Do you think the Pokeball will actually make noises if you shake it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's $40 to $50, so it has to do something.
So if I put like a Tangela in it and I shake it, it'll make Tangela noises.
It is the Pokemon cry, like from the game.
Okay, that's cool.
Hey, Crazy K, thanks for watching live.
Yes.
Hello.
I remember when he said, you can use just the Pokeball to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. For some reason, I really expected him to say, and Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yes.
For some reason, I was like, and Dark Souls?
That is going to be a TBC challenge.
So it has motion control. It has an analog stick. And do you think you can click the stick for a button?
There must be a button.
You can click the stick and there's another button. I watched part of the treehouse on it and they kind of showed it off a little bit.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I did. Who here watched the treehouse? I didn't.
I watched a little bit of it right after the direct for some of the Smash stuff, and then they did that for a few minutes, kind of showing Ridley, and then they switched it over to Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
and kind of showed off
Ridley.
that stuff. Oh yeah, Ridley's in Smash.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we need to get to it quickly. By the way.
Yeah, let's chop these bite-sized pieces up. What's the next one?
We're spending at least 10 times as long on these than Nintendo did. So
we already talked about Pokemon Plus, Super Mario Party.
Okay.
Yes, I approve.
Yeah.
I like the name. I think it's going to make some homebrewers angry, but because now they can't make their Super NES D-Make Super Mario Party. But Yeah, it looked good. It looked like they're taking Mario Party seriously and going back to the old style. And I like the thing they did with the screens. That was cool.
Yes.
I'd really like to know how it works from a technological standpoint, but that's just me being a nerd.
You're not in cars anymore on the game boards.
Yes.
This is so good.
Yes.
You're your own person.
Simeon noticed something about how the dual screens work.
Yeah, but I didn't realize, I don't know, like technically, but like they swiped a line like across from one to another to where it's like, oh, okay, this is the connecting point. But I don't know like how mechanically, you know, obviously technologically that works. But I did see,
Yeah, it's probably just like simple trigonometry at that point, because I didn't realize that. I guess if they swipe, if you like draw your finger in a straight line, it's like, okay, it disconnects here and it reconnects here, then yeah, that'd actually be pretty easy to figure out.
I'm sad that the banana rubbing patent is not real.
I love all the bananas.
Hi, Crazy Kenny.
What else? Let's see. What was okay? So Super Mario Party, it looked pretty good. A lot of the mini games look pretty good, except the stupid little trike one.
Yeah.
I just as I was looking at Scott and saying these mini games look great, they show everybody going like this. I'm like,
you know they have to do the most. They're gonna do. I bet you they'll have something with the IR sensor too. They have to do everything in the controller for the mini game.
It's good that we're finding a use for the darn thing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, except for Labo. Labo used it.
It's actually pretty cool in Labo.
All right. So what's our next little piece?
Hang on. Let me bring up the window. Let's see. So now we can talk about Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I can't even afford one.
Well, it definitely did look like Fire Emblem. I liked the video, how it was more of like an anime style, like the cutscenes and whatnot. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, they always do a good job on those. Simeon also made a really good point during this one that had nothing to do with the game. Do you remember that?
No. What was it that I said?
You said, well, there's one confirmed new character for Smash Bros.
Oh, yeah.
Which is probably entirely true. Sakurai can't
You were wrong.
Well, I mean, there's still time. There's still 6 months, and Sakurai can hardly resist fanboying out over Fire Emblem.
So
yeah, that's true. Well, hopefully it's an Echo character if it is.
This trailer I did not like it because here's the thing is I'll admit I'm not a big fan of Fire Emblem. I've played one of the games. It didn't grab my attention, which is fine. But the whole, once again, tune in to our podcast where I'll rant more about this. I'm not a fan of the whole anime narration. This one was not nearly as bad as Xenoblade Chronicles, but the fact that they focused on a person walking down a hallway for like 10 seconds and then showed a menu for like another 30 seconds, like that is not how you do an announcement trailer. I'm sorry. That just I don't get that.
You know, I remember one thing from the trailers, like when they were showing the clicking on one of the units and moving her, and she said something along the lines of, "I'm ready to follow your commands" or something. I remember saying out loud, "Yes, sir, will do." You just yes.
Because you're gonna be hearing that probably quite a lot.
Well, also the way she phrased it just like was really weird. It almost sounded like I will die for whatever cause you send me, whatever vain cause you send me forth to do. And it's like, okay, it's just it sounded
you
like
have a choice.
really minion-y, and I didn't like that. Not like the Despicable Me Man. Anyway, let's see. The one thing really intrigued me from this, and it's it'd be something that'd be easy to miss if you're not paying attention. But did you notice the fact that the characters themselves aren't attacking anymore?
No,
I did notice that they were commanding some troops that were like shooting arrows.
So now your characters are commanders of battalions, of platoons, or I don't know military terminology, but squadrons.
Like Risk.
I think it looked kind of like Advance Wars, if you ask me, where but that's the interesting thing. So as best as I can tell, this is just speculation, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think what's going to happen is your hit points are going to be actual soldiers. And so you're going to see the soldiers like rush at each other, and some of them are going to die, and then your commander won't die until it's last man standing, which has a nice dramatic impact to it. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that the named characters are actually going to be commanders. Which to me makes a lot more sense than every soldier in your army just happens to be a special snowflake. That
good speculation, and I agree.
Yeah. Anything else to say, or should we move on to the next one?
The next one is Fortnite.
Fortnite.
And Ryan, I remember you invited me to play this with you on mobile. I've been holding out for this day.
Yep,
so,
I played it earlier today and already got a victory royale. So
really? Whoa, nice. That's awesome. So I just downloaded it. I'm excited to get into it. It's nice that there is a free game from the eShop that is massively multiplayer online.
Drops day of too. I mean, that's always a great thing.
Yeah.
So
literally drops.
I think they spent a good amount of time on it too. They showed off what they needed to in the trailer and then moved along. I mean, it wasn't really a surprise to many people at this point because the leaks and whatnot. But
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, well, I've like I said, I've resisted playing Fortnite until now. I think it's awesome that you can take it anywhere. You have full button controls, but I know that you're also an Xbox gamer, Ryan. So do you think Fortnite is good for the average Nintendo fan? Maybe someone who doesn't play a lot of shooters, or even like Minecrafty builder kind of games?
Yeah, it's still good. Because honestly, I'm not like super great at the building part yet, but I have a friend on Xbox who's actually super good at building. So then when we work together, it just clicks. I mean, like if you join, you might be super great at building, but not great at the combat part, which you know what? If you team up with somebody, you can still be a really great asset. So
yeah, so my only real concern is is it going to be is there going to be crossplay between?
Already is, yep.
Oh, okay.
Really?
The only one it doesn't crossplay with is PlayStation.
That's right.
Because of course. PlayStation.
Of course.
Quit being so Nintendo about it.
And what stinks even worse is if on your account that's tied to Fortnite, if you've ever played on a PlayStation, you can't bring your account over to Switch, or vice versa. If you create one on Switch, you can't ever play on PlayStation with that same account.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they really like to block people.
I did hear that you can use voice chat by plugging in a headset.
Thursday.
They're
pushing out an update on Thursday where, yes, you can plug your headset directly into the Switch and your mic works through the Switch. No cell phone. So I don't know what Nintendo's excuse is for not doing this, but
miracles do happen.
It's already figured it out.
Do you know any specifics, Ryan? Because I'm curious, like, do you have to have a USB-C headset, or can you actually use the headphone jack and do like one of these? Really?
Yep.
That is like magic.
Ryan, we're gonna be actual friends. Can we party up?
We can. They were having issues with it earlier. I was trying to join because I opened up my friends on Switch, and all but one of them were playing Fortnite. So I was like, "Oh, I'm going to join up with some of these." I don't know who any of these people are in real life.
Oh gosh, we're all going to have to download this and then do a stream, aren't we?
We can stream it. I have good enough bandwidth to stream us playing an online game, so I can do it.
Fantastic.
Okay, I actually know someone who plays Fortnite. Maybe we can collab with them. That'd be interesting.
Can I have the fur baby? A wild fur baby attacks.
Oh boy. Oh, like a missile. Yeah.
Okay, so Scott has never played the Ace Attorney games, so he doesn't understand why calling a dog a missile is funny.
Okay, but I said it anyway.
Hey.
All right.
Let's see. Overcooked 2.
I think this is good. Did they say it's exclusive? I mean, this is the first reveal of it, right?
I don't know.
I don't think they did.
I think Overcooked was multi-platform though, so I would assume this would be too. But
yeah, must be selling really well on Switch for Nintendo to get that announcement. And I think it's a good thing. I would love to play the Overcooked series. I just haven't purchased the first game yet, and I wonder if it's one of those games where if you own the sequel, you might as well skip the first one. That's kind of the feeling I get.
Yep.
Ryan, you look like someone who has played Overcooked before.
Sure have not.
Man, your looks deceive me.
I cook in real life.
Hey, me too.
I don't. I
overcook in real life.
Possible. I will wreck mac and cheese, so don't let me in the kitchen.
Correct me if I'm wrong, friends, but I think Killer Queen is a recent arcade phenomenon, and
like actual arcade or arcade style.
Actual arcade, like up until now, you could only play Killer Queen in arcades, but it's been raking in a lot of money. So they hurried up.
That was still a thing.
They really hurried up to get that Switch port out for E3, which is awesome. Or not out, but presentable.
Trailer, yeah.
And it didn't really look that good to me, though. I could honestly use a Treehouse segment on this game where they show me how it's fun.
It looks like a team-based joust.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, so don't know.
Which is an NES game or
like 2600 or
arcade. Old arcade game. I think there was a version on the NES.
I did see a lot of people on Twitter like super excited about it, so I mean it has to have some sort of decent following.
Yeah,
I've heard it's popular. I do remember hearing a little bit about like just people just mentioning it in passing before in some like E3 speculation videos. So,
and there it was. It actually got leaked, but the Killer Queen developers, they were playing it cool and teasing it also. Like they had their Twitter avatar and cover photo just pure black leading up to this. So that was cool.
Did you hear about the at the Bethesda conference what they did for one of their leaks?
No.
Oh, and they're like, and here we're going to show off the gameplay for Rage 2 thanks to our friends from Walmart Canada for announcing this game for us.
Wow, that's awesome. So next up we got a game that's trying to give Octopath Traveler a run for its money as the most beautiful game shown. That is Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
So it looks like a really good indie game. Very cool 2D hand-drawn, maybe? Hand-drawn-ish art style. I'm not sure exactly the gameplay yet, but I'm definitely interested in this one.
I think it's a Metroidvania.
Okay. It's out today, $15.
Well, I mean, it's been out for a long time on Steam, so.
Yeah.
But so I think they might have announced this for limited run games too. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Nice. But that studio actually had their own press conference this year, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Really. It probably would have been in there, wouldn't you think?
I can't remember what was in there, to be honest. Like, not everything. But they had, like, Ukulele and, I don't know, there were, like, 5 or 6 Switch games.
We're almost to Smash Bros. And
yeah, so speaking of Octopath Traveler.
I was so surprised that there's a second demo for this game. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't check out the first one. I don't know. Maybe I should check out this. I don't know. I have so many games.
More worth it because it seems like it's the beginning of the game because it says your progress transfers over from the demo.
Hey, that's nice.
Yep.
That's a really nice courtesy that a lot of demos have been doing nowadays. I appreciate that.
Yep. That pretty much brings us to the end. I mean, there's a sizzle reel. With was there anything of note in that sizzle reel? I don't remember writing anything down. Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dark Souls Remastered, Wolfenstein 2, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, EA Sports FIFA 19, and Starlink Battle, which we should probably talk about. Starlink.
Oh yeah, we should address that. We should address really Fox in the room. So yeah, Star Fox is going to be crossing over with the Switch version of Starlink. You said.
Yep. Battle for Atlas.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm glad to, and I think that is going to sway a lot of people's opinions towards the Switch, make them get the Switch version instead because, Star Fox, even if the graphics probably aren't as good as the other systems.
Yeah, couple things to note with this game is it's Ubisoft, so they're continuing their partnership with Nintendo after Mario plus Rabbids, which is awesome. This game has some Toys to Life elements, so you can get a little Star Fox figure and a bigger R-Wing figure. I guess they didn't get the memo that Toys to Life is dead.
Yep. Nintendo hardly even does it. That's basically a collectible at this point. And if it's put in a game, it's like second thought, just some concept art unlockable.
I know. You got shelf space there, Ryan?
Oh yeah, I got plenty left. I'm just looking around my room. Yeah, I got a decent amount.
I wish I knew more about what Starlink gameplay is, though.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. But
honestly,
for reviews.
Yeah, it looks kind of similar to Star Fox. You fly around, you shoot stuff.
Okay, good. That's really good. Well, I'm kind of hopeful for this continued Ubisoft partnership with Nintendo, because what if we get a game from them at each E3, and like a 1 million copy seller isn't a lot for Nintendo, but for Ubisoft, like if they were given the F-Zero IP or something like that,
something Nintendo doesn't want to work with anymore.
Exactly.
Or has just been ignoring.
Yeah, this could be a really beneficial partnership moving forward.
They could get you an Ice Climbers game that you don't hate.
Everyone seems to be clamoring for an Ice Climbers reboot, and I don't understand why.
So, some good things in there. I liked the ones that were available today, like Hollow Knight and Fortnite, and Paladins also. I would hold off on buying Paladins, though, because it's going to be free later. It's $30 right now.
That's so dumb.
Any last notes that are in general about the presentation before we get into Smash Bros?
Yeah, I thought the sizzle reel should have been done a lot better, or they should have had newer games in there, because most of the games they showed we already knew about, so it didn't seem like the place to like make that a main thing at E3 if that's all they're showing. And some of those were already like, this came out a couple months ago, but we're going to show it in the sizzle reel. This look like we have more games in here.
So I think actually the sizzle reel, it was smart putting all the games we already knew about in the sizzle reel, because we were complaining about this with the Pokemon thing. We already know about this game. Why are you devoting so much time to it? And so yeah, I think it would have been frustrating if those games had gotten more spotlight than what they did. I think that was the right way to handle those announcements, and just give an update on, hey, these are still coming. This is when you can expect to see them, stuff like that.
I think that the sizzle reel was okay, but going to the presentation as a whole, there really just wasn't a lot of new. Like, it was update.
Scott? Well, we're still live without him, so
hi everybody.
Hey, one more thing I wanted to mention is that this was actually something a few years ago that they screwed up. Is that they didn't have the name and the developer in one of their sizzle reels. I want to say that was like last year or maybe the year before it. And so that was they actually bothered to tell us what games each game was in the sizzle reel. So
yep,
I appreciate that.
That was nice.
See, MacTX says, I thought they should have expanded it and added more stuff and just shift the Smash stuff to the treehouse. Yeah, there definitely was a lot of minutia in the Smash portion. So, and we'll get to that in a second when looks like
they're just joining
back.
Yay!
I hope you guys were able to resume without us. I don't know if we.
We're still talking.
Okay. I see you had to sacrifice Simeon to the streaming gods.
Oh well.
It's the one button crew now. Deal with it.
No, we're not the buttons. Please don't.
I know. I'm joking.
Yeah, don't perpetuate that common misconception.
I'm the start button. Simeon select.
Oh, Simeon has returned from the Netherrealm.
Yes, it was nice.
Right, we were just starting the Smash.
Also, Splatoon 2 Octo expansion comes out tomorrow, which is cool.
Wait, tomorrow?
Yeah, they announced it at the end of the Splatoon tournament.
Ooh, that was something that actually really stuck out as weird to me. That they in the sizzle reel they didn't give a release date. It's like, really? It's coming up soon, guys. Okay, yep. I've been meaning to pick up Splatoon 2. That will probably give me incentive.
Yep, I was watching the end of that tournament and I saw that and I grabbed my Switch and pre-ordered the expansion right after. So I was like, sweet, can't wait to play it.
Yep, it's going to be really good. Okay, so where did we stop with Smash Bros?
We didn't really get
resisted the urge to talk about Smash Brothers because we need.
Can I start this off, please?
I don't have much to say to start off, so.
Okay. They started off introducing the characters that are returning to Smash. They spent 3.5 minutes showing characters that have already been in Smash Bros. This should have been something that were like, all right, and here's the characters that are coming back. And they flash through all of the characters in like 10 to 20 seconds, just like super fast. And he's like, that's right, all of them are coming back. Why did each character need like 5 to 10 seconds, like for each character? That was ridiculous.
Because he had to show off the epsilon sign on the few characters.
No, it was so, it was such a waste of time.
Yeah, I remember when he was leading into it, it's like, are we really going to go through every character?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the joke with Luigi at the end, getting no respect, was.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, if anything, they should have done it where they did it like slowly right away, and then with every character it gets a little bit faster, where until it's like the just like blasting.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they started putting multiple characters in the frame at a time.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them did.
But
yeah, MacTX. I totally sympathize with MacTX is talking about how they showed them out of numerical order.
Yeah. Oh, I know that totally threw me off.
Yeah, that.
What it made me think at first is, oh, this is going to be a really small roster because they went from like number 1 to number 4 to number 6, and I'm like, we're already cutting people left and right. So they had me kind of. Yeah, so I was kind of tricked, and I thought it was cool, and they said, everyone is here. And then I'm like, Simeon, everyone's here. And Simeon's like, they don't mean that literally. And I'm like, no, it's literal. So I liked that part. I know it was 3.5 minutes, but the time that felt wasted to me was when they went on and showed how everybody's final smash got lamer.
Yeah.
Like,
our final smashes aren't going to waste your time. Yeah, get on with it.
They're all like 3 to 5 second cutscenes now, basically.
Yeah, they're not going to waste our time, as every single one of them is wasting our time.
So going back to what Scott said about a small roster, he mentioned very briefly that we might only get the starting 8, 12. I don't know how many.
12, 64 characters.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that he said might. We may only get those.
Well, at the end of the Smash Bros. Tournament, he's like, this game is not even close to being done yet. I'm surprised it even worked. It's like, oh, don't tell us what's going on behind the curtain.
He's like, I already saw like 3 to 4 bugs watching this tournament that I get to fix.
But so he's clearly, maybe he wasn't comfortable with showing what he did today, but it was great. It really was great. But yeah, there's a lot still unsaid and unknown.
As cool as it is. Oh, go for it.
I will go after you. I have a rapid fire list of things I liked and didn't like.
Okay. I was going to say, as cool as it is that every single character is returning, there's so many of them that people will never play, like Pichu. And then at the end, he's like, well, since we have all the other characters, there's not really going to be that many new ones. It's like, well, then why did you do that? Just cut the stupid characters that nobody's going to play.
I remember when he said, because we think this is what the fans want in relation to, having all the characters in there. I remember it's like, and this is after they showed Dr. Mario, okay? I remember saying, no, that's not what I want. I don't want the clones. No Dr. Mario.
Well, it makes you think they're probably cut for a reason, right?
Yeah. And so they're going to have to really work hard to win me over with the Dr. Mario and stuff.
I do want to
just be a costume.
I do I agree with that, but I do want to make one comment that I think it was Sakurai said the last time they did Smash Bros. When it was coming out for 3DS and Wii U, and people were like, "We want more characters. Why are you wasting time on Dr. Mario and Dark Pit and all this stuff? You know, clone characters or Echo characters now,
Echo fighters."
Yeah, and it's like, well, they don't take that much time, is what they said. We figured you'd want more characters to play, and it literally is just beep, boop, boop, change some variables around, and you have a new character. So,
but you don't. You don't have. Here's my thing. I'm a firm believer that things should be. If you're putting something in a game, it should have a purpose, and I don't think clone characters really follow that philosophy. It's just like, oh yeah, we'll slap another skin on them, maybe change the voice lines and call it a new character when it's not really a new character.
I would have agreed with you maybe a few years ago before the last Smash Bros. But I really did see how much it changed the character to have more knockback on Dr. Mario's up B. More knockback on his moves, even if they weren't as fast or damaging. Dark Pit having a slight... Doggo! I will beat you.
Wow,
we're here.
That was intense. What I didn't like, though, is they showed off a few Echo characters that they had, but then for some reason, Dr. Mario's not an Echo character.
Yeah,
Falco and Wolf are Fox clones, but they have like a few different moves. So,
yeah, I mean, the rules seem inconsistent. That also messes with my OCD. And okay, MacTX, what are you saying now? But Glenn, clones do have a purpose. Fill that roster. There's already 65 characters. I mean, we don't.
Can I show off this Twitter image that I screenshotted earlier?
Yes.
Sure.
Wait, you gotta say something.
It says everyone is here, except everybody is not there. It's missing one very important person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man! Just moment of silence for Bomberman.
Hey, but Waluigi wasn't missing; he was an assist trophy.
He might as well not be there at that point. I would rather he does not show up. They're just disgracing him repeatedly. I think Sakurai just likes to poop on Waluigi.
Yes.
That means next time, though. All right.
But, yeah. Bomberman's also an assist trophy. That made me sad.
And Crystal. Crystal, the furry blue woman.
Okay, what about her?
She's an assist trophy.
I didn't even notice that.
Oh, I didn't notice that either.
Which a lot of people on Smash boards were sad about. All right. So
yeah, Scott's a furry, confirmed.
Thank you. All right. After I get all of this off my chest, we can talk about whatever you guys want. It's awesome that Ridley is in Smash Bros. And Sakurai did a really good job trolling us with making him come down with like the super mushroom onto the stage at first. That was really good. I like Inklings and their unique mechanics. I think that they did a really good translation of those characters. All past characters are returning. I'm excited, especially about Snake and Wolf, that I really didn't think had a chance to come back. Ganondorf now has a sword for every Smash move, so he's getting a little less cloney with every Smash Bros. Game that comes out.
Good, I approve.
Link has remote bombs. That's good. That's going to lead to some awesome setups and combos. Samus can charge in the air, and it seems like they're doing away with a lot of the dumb inconsistencies from previous games, like using Zelda's side B doesn't make her helpless anymore, and then Samus gets to not be the only character that can't charge in the air. So I'm liking some of these balances. There are new perfect shield mechanics, which is awesome. It's like a parry from Third Strike. And then stale.
You played Third Strike?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Rolling and dodging gets stale and makes you more vulnerable, which is a really good way to break some bad habits that are made.
Yeah, I remember looking at that and it's like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to completely change the way I play because I roll around like a caffeinated squirrel.
Melee air dodges are coming back.
Kind of.
I think it's not going to be like you get one and then it's over sort of a thing. I think it's going to be like a middle ground between what we had in Brawl and 4 and what we had in Melee.
It kind of nudges you.
I heard that you can do more than one in the air also. I don't know if everyone will have as much momentum as your first one does. We'll see. You can
probably not. Probably it's going to use the same code that deplenishes your roll.
Mm-hmm.
You can cancel any dash into a smash attack. So that's really going to speed up gameplay. You don't have to shield to stop your character in order to do one of those moves anymore. They're making new GameCube controllers. I like the Smash logo design on this one a little bit less, but anytime that there are new GameCube controllers officially produced and on store shelves is a happy day for me. And then they're also making new Daisy, Ridley, and Inkling amiibo, so you can round out your collection. I'll definitely get the Ridley one.
Yep, same.
All stages don't only have a Final Destination version, but they also have a Battlefield version. Very good. And there are some epic slowdown animations that happen in 1v1s. Also, you notice some other stuff about 1v1s.
Yeah, there was a lot of focus on 1v1.
It shows the score when you knock out a character, and also it'll show like where exactly the blast zone is in relation to your character. A little thing pops up on the HUD, which is really nice.
Okay, now we're getting into my question marks. Got a few of these. I'm not sure what Echo characters are. Do they go in the same slot? Why aren't?
Yeah, they didn't really explain that. And again, the rules for what is and isn't an Echo character seems really inconsistent. Like, I'd be totally fine with Dr. Mario making a return if he were an Echo character.
Yep. And I had this one under question mark. Some strange costume choices like Zelda and Ganondorf, but that's kind of growing on me. They don't all have to be from Twilight Princess anymore. Yeah. There's some diversity.
I really like the fact that they're diversifying that, and that they're doing they're taking Zelda's design from the best Zelda game. So I approve of that.
The best Zelda game. He sneaks in there. And I heard that stages can be picked first before your character. That is tournament friendly, which is awesome. Question mark here. Lacking new characters, but I could see DLC happening for this game over the next 3 years because they're getting the Smash Bros. Base game in at kind of the ground level of the Switch's life cycle. So I'd not be surprised at all if maybe it launches with 5 new characters, including the 2 that we've seen, and then more will be added by DLC. The website does say that there are 66 characters, but it's only listing 65 right now. So I figured we'd get another announcement by the end of the tournament, but we didn't. Okay.
Right, tomorrow.
Wrapping up here. Negatives. Final Smashes are all lame. They didn't need to be balanced because that's like saying all the B moves have to do the same amount of damage. Final Smashes were part of a character's overall balance, but now they're not anymore. December 7th is kind of later than I wished, and no demo like I was hoping to be on the eShop.
Yeah.
Whew! That's all.
The demo makes sense after hearing Sakurai say it's not close to being finished, because you wouldn't want to put a demo like that out.
No. I just have a few things to comment on. First is I did see ledge trumping in the game, so it's like Smash 4 in that aspect.
Trumpful Prez.
Ike looks like he might be good in this game. He seems a little bit faster overall. Scott and I recently went back and played some Brawl, and I totally destroyed him with Ike, and it felt so good that he had his nair to jab combo back, which he doesn't have in Smash 4.
I also heard that Ike's up air is really good in Smash 5.
Well, it was the best move in the game in Brawl, so I can't imagine how it would be better.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, excuse me.
Yes. And then lastly, Ganondorf. I don't know how they did this, but it almost looks like he's slower. Like he was great, and the fact that he had a boot that came out so fast, such a slow character, but with a really fast tilt was great. And it looks a little bit slower, which I'm a little bit upset about. But they're not done with the game. I haven't played the game yet, and so I'm willing to reserve judgment But I'm hopeful for those two characters. And Ridley looks awesome. I really want to play Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. What, man, they went into a lot of detail about all the little minutia. And like, oh yeah, we changed this character's design. They're now reflecting this version of them. What do you think? Did anything there stand out to y'all?
I think that stuff should have been saved for a Smash Direct. E3 was not the place to go over all of that, like stuff.
I don't know. There were a few things I noticed that I liked. Like, I thought giving Zelda the new design, that was cool. They didn't really expound upon whether or not Sheik was her own character or.
Turns out she is.
Okay. Okay, cool. Pokemon Trainer is back.
One character.
Which is nice as one character. Hey, Skippy. Anyway. I liked Mario's taunt that they showed.
I'm sad Mario isn't more Cappy-y.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks like they kept the characters pretty much the same. Link's the only one they changed up, but most of it's just they changed his weapons to Breath of the Wild stuff besides his remote bomb.
Well, there's another Link change too. Did you notice that, Glenn?
Knows what, the Breath of the Wild design?
Yeah, when he's at 0% damage, he gets Sword Beam.
Oh.
That was cool. No, I did not notice that. What I was trying to say about Mario, though, is, he has the little thumbs up emote. What I like about that is that Mario finally learned how to smile.
Yeah.
He smiles?
He does that. And, oh, gosh, when I realized that, it's like that's been something that has really just bugged me for years about Super Smash Brothers, is Mario never smiles. And we all think of Mario as this guy that smiles, and yet he never smiles in Smash. He always has this.
They should have gave him a really awkward smile, like he didn't know what he was doing.
I have one more note to say, and that is the cover art that they show. I don't know why. I don't know if I like it or not yet, but Mario looks like he's in a 90s magazine advertisement, and so does Donkey Kong. Like, if you just look at him, you're like, it's just kind of weird looking, like just not quite. I mean, if you look at the nose. I mean, I know Mario has a big nose, but I don't know. I don't know if I quite like. But that's, just nitpicky.
So let's see what else. I kind of noticed a lot of the details. That's what I wrote down. There was more focus on 1v1 with like Ryu's little special thing.
Yes.
Which I think is interesting because it seems like they're slowly making it more geared towards the tournament crowd.
Yep.
And I like Zero Suit Samus, I have to admit, has a somewhat more, how do I put this in a PG rated fashion?
You say she's more realistic or less realistic?
More realistic.
Okay.
And I appreciate that. She has a less exaggerated figure. And honestly, the exaggerated figure, just when I saw that in Smash 4, it's like, really, guys? It's kind of hard to take her seriously because she's supposed to be this bounty hunter. She beats up aliens for a living. So,
but she looks good doing it.
Yeah, well, you can actually see she had some notable muscle tone in this design, which I think, I'm kind of a nut for logical character design. It's not like some sort of weird political agenda kind of thing, because I know that's all the rage now. But I just like the fact that her design now matches up with her character, professed character.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lucky says, "Are any of you guys disappointed?" I think the general consensus is not disappointed in Smash, disappointed with how they handled the Direct.
Yeah,
I have to admit, I actually liked this. Actually, got me excited about Smash because I was not excited in the least about Smash up to this point.
Well, that's good. It worked. Yeah, I think Smash looks like a great game. It was just a weird move for Nintendo to do that when they're kind of on top of the world right now with Switch sales and had so much momentum going. And speaking of momentum, it was that moment when Sakurai started getting really into the weeds with details, like the number represents when they were added to the series, when the Nintendo Direct today just kind of grinded to a halt. It's like it was game, and now Sakurai.
Yeah, that was the thing. The pacing. I remember thinking before Smash came on that the pacing is like, wow, this is moving at a really good clip. But I think the Smash thing could have been more condensed. But on the bright side, I don't feel like I have to sit through 16 hours of Treehouse footage to feel like I know what's going on in Smash.
Yeah. And
That's true.
The character reveals were, or I should say reveal, there was one person that we didn't know about, and that was Ridley, which Ridley kind of saved it. Like when Sakurai said, and now finally a new character, and they showed Inklings, Simeon did a facepalm, but they had to pull out a big gun like Ridley in order to kind of redeem it at the end.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they did show off Inkling's moveset for the first time, so that was still cool, seeing how unique it plays.
It was. A couple questions for you guys. I want to talk about how this will affect the competitive scene, and I'm a little worried about that. I do need to go back and watch the tournament. Haven't watched the tournament yet, but I know that a lot more damage is being dealt out on one-on-ones. And when I saw some Samus gameplay, I was looking for my bread and butter combos. I love all the combos in Smash 4. That's how you rack up big damage. But in Smash 5, Samus did a down throw to Ridley, who was at 0% damage, and he flew across the screen. It didn't look like it was possible to really follow it up. I'm hoping that there's still combos you can do in this game instead of you just hit 5 times separately and then they're ready for a kill move. And if that's the case, then we're going to have to play with a lot more stocks than 2 stocks, and I assume they did that in the tournament.
Well, I mean, Smash is always giving you the option to change the damage coefficient. So you could just lower, like go to 0.8 damage or 0.5 damage.
And we may need to do that. That won't fix knockback, though. If knockback is super crazy in this game, that's going to be kind of disappointing to me. Do you have any competitive thoughts, Simeon?
Not. I mean, I agree with you. I think that, I think, first of all, the first thing that helped me out was that he said that they weren't done. And also, somebody made a post, Scott, that a tweet that you need to tell them about because it was fantastic.
Oh,
about Bayonetta.
Oh, so apparently Sakurai was seen during the tournament watching the gameplay between 2 of the competitors, and Bayonetta killed Ridley off the top, just obliterated Ridley, and then you could see Sakurai just going like this. Like a big Bayonetta nerf is coming.
Yes.
Okay, so who's everybody excited to play? That's what I wanted to get to.
Well, I mean, I'm always a Mario guy. I'm finally going to be able to play Ryu because I didn't bother with the DLC for Smash 4, and I'm feeling kind of good about that decision right about now. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of new characters I get to play. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Ryu looked weird though. Did you notice that he looked like really gaunt?
Yes, I did notice that. I noticed that immediately. I'm like, yeah, that boy, he's, well, I also noticed that about Sakurai as well, though. I don't know if there was any correlation there, but Sakurai just seems to be looking more and more like a skeleton every day. And I mean, that's just probably a byproduct of how much he works and how hard he works and the long hours that he works.
He does have Benjamin Button disease. He gets younger.
Yeah. But Ryu definitely, the face was a little bit.
You want to know why Sakurai looks like that? Because he literally said at the end of the tournament, I'm taking the midnight flight home tonight to go back and work on this game to fix the bugs that I saw during this. It's like, yeah, you got a problem, buddy.
Yeah. Workaholic.
Yeah, honestly, if I were, Nintendo doesn't have direct control over him because he works for his own production company now. But I would seriously consider just telling Sakurai, okay, look, you only get to work 50 hours a week.
Yeah, seriously.
Learn to delegate, man.
Yeah.
I did hear a statement from Bill Trinan that his hands are better, that he did rehab after Smash 4, and he's not suffering from carpal tunnel right now.
That's good.
I don't know if that's PR or if that's fact, but thank you, Reba, and her fingernails for making an appearance. Ryan, who are you excited to play?
Of course, I'm excited to play Inkling Boy.
Yeah.
/ girl.
What mechanics in their moveset did you notice or that stood out to you?
So I watched a little bit of the tournament, and somebody actually picked him, so I picked up on more of that stuff in there. I like that you can ink your turf, and that will slow people down a little bit if they land in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you splat them and they have the ink on them, your other ink attacks will actually do more damage after that, like after the other character's inked. So it's beneficial to do that. That is going through a bunch of different weapons. It's not like they just have the gun. You have like your melee brush, you got the roller, he had the paint bucket.
I mean, I don't think there was ever any doubt about that. I mean,
yeah, I just thought they all looked really cool though.
Awesome.
Yeah. I am looking forward to playing Ridley big time, of course. Ridley looks a little bit OP, but of course, you know that I don't think that's going to be the case. There's definitely going to be balances there. And
yeah, I was really curious how they were going to get Ridley in Smash, because someone told me that, hey, did you hear Ridley's in Smash? It's like, okay, whatever. And you know, I've kind of always played devil's advocate, you know, compulsive contrarian. When it came to the Ridley thing, it's like, well, Ridley's, you know, he's got spindly limbs, at least like the Metroid Prime version of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you would shrink him down, because that's always what people say is just shrink him down. And it's like, yeah, but then if you like zoom the camera out just a little bit, his arms vanish into the background. And it looks like they sidestepped that by not shrinking him down.
Yeah, he's basically Bowser's height, but he's more hunched over.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
hunched and crunched. So I'm looking forward to Ridley. Ganon, I'm looking forward to playing, seeing if he is worth trying. Of course, Marth's dancing blade being faster is exciting, and also Ike. Want to try Ike again?
Oh yeah, Marth being voiced in English. What do you guys think?
I didn't like it. It didn't sound right to me.
There really wasn't any point. He's been in Japanese this whole time so far. So
yeah, I don't mind, because I'm that slackjaw who prefers dubs to subs, but I do remember just kind of when I heard that, I thought, oh gosh, that's not going to go over well with the fans.
I hated all the voice stuff. Like Ike's Radiant costume has a different voice actor. Give me a break.
Was it a different actor? It just sounded like a different take of the line.
Yeah, that could be. Who cares? Something that you saying Marth reminded me of is there's a new mechanic where you can just press Y and A at the same time to do a short hop fair.
Just short hop attacks.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's specific fair or nair, or if you can directionalize that.
I'm sure you can directionalize it. Probably.
You must be able to.
That's awesome. Because
I did like you can finish what you're saying.
Because that is making one of the slightly more difficult maneuvers in Smash Bros. More easily accessible to all players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked a card that I saw, or an image somebody made on Twitter, that was the introductory Smash that they always do of the new fighter joining, and it says Ridley memes his way in.
Yes.
Okay, so Scott, you just said that you are you like the fact that it makes it easier for people to do a difficult technique. That doesn't sound like a competitive Smash player.
This is the logic that comes from behind it, and you can correct me, of course. But three words: more fresh meat.
Yep.
But no, I think it just makes it more accessible. Where like with melee is not worth anybody. Well, I won't say anybody. It's not worth most people going and playing it back to try and learn how to play it, because the people who are currently playing it have been playing it for so long,
Right.
and the techniques are difficult. Like, it's the appeal of Smash Bros is that it's really easy to be able to do any move that you want to do, and it's your creativity that puts together the combos or whatever. Whereas with most traditional fighting games, part of the learning curve, a major part of the learning curve, is learning how to execute every single one of the moves on command. Smash Bros. Taking that away piece by piece brings more interesting things to the game, where it's not like, oh, I've trained 15 hours today and I finally got that combo down. It was like, no, I thought of this combo and I was able to actualize it without having to.
A lot of my favorite fighting games are fighting games that reward that kind of thinking. That's one of the things that got me into Street Fighter in the beginning, is that you can't just like mash one button and have a full combo pop out. You actually have to think about how they link together. And consequently, that's why I do not like Tekken.
There you go.
As they call it, refer to it, they have reduced fighting to a finite state machine. So that's a computer science joke.
I agree. That was beautifully said, and I would add that, or the way I'd say it is, any time that they can take away the complex controller inputs and make the competition just about reflexes, matchup knowledge, ingenuity, combos that you come up with, and not make it the complicated inputs, then I am totally for that. Because I am a competitive Smash player, but I'm first husband and a full-time worker and blah, blah, blah. So I don't get to practice as much as a lot of the other people in the tournaments do. And when they're doing stuff like Dakis and Beto and all these techniques that you have to look up on YouTube and learn how to move your thumbs and do claw grips and stuff, then that kind of discourages me. Like, I don't think the developers intended it to be this way. Smash Bros. Is supposed to be something that
Stocklight did. He learned to play the game with one hand. I mean, if you don't do that, you're scrubbed. Sorry.
So I think they're leveling the playing field, which is good for everybody, and the most skilled players will still rise to the top. I don't think first-time players are going to be taking out people in tournaments, but but everything's designed more intentionally. So
yeah, we have some comments that we've kind of been ignoring here. So Skippy asks if what do you think is going to be like the single-player offerings? Do you think there'll be a boss rush or what?
Ooh, I hope that's Ultimate. I really do.
I think that I'm hoping, and I think that they probably would have shown it today if it were the case. But I was hoping for, or I am still hoping for, something like the Subspace Emissary, because he said there would be an easy way to unlock all the characters. Well, the Subspace Emissary just made it really convenient. You play this one-player game, and by the time you get to the end of it, with a little bit of backtracking, you unlock all of the characters.
Yep.
Okay.
So I think that would be a great way to go for one player.
Let's see. I just want the classic mode to be actual classic mode instead of whatever the horrible abomination that they put in Smash 4 was.
Yes.
I mean, hey, if you want if you want to put in like the difficulty slider thing, that's cool. I'm totally fine with that, and the weird sort of gambling aspect associated with that I thought was a cool idea. But gosh darn it, just make it traditional classic mode.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think about single player?
I really hope Smash has single player. I think it could be announced down the line, just because today it seemed like they were focusing more on the tournament aspect and the competitiveness.
Yeah, because that's I'm seeing. I was talking to a coworker about this earlier today. It seems increasingly more like people are more and more concerned with the tournament aspect, which makes me feel very alone in the world.
It's okay, Glenn.
Yeah. I'm a dying breed. I know.
I hope all the stages get back. Simeon got me reminiscing about Poke Floats, and we didn't see that today.
We did see Saffron City, though, in the tournament. I'm super excited about that.
Yes.
That looks great.
And they're going to be actually, HD remasters. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We had another question or comment. Oh, yeah. Crazy K said the reason for all the different voices and stuff and that they point out is just to show how much attention to detail they're doing. And I personally, I know Scott doesn't like it. I personally thought that was cool stuff. I thought that was, and it's like, oh, man, that, you're really going over with a fine-tooth comb.
I will say this. It's better than having 3 different voice actors for one single character that is doing it, because I will not let this die. In Smash 4, if you play as Fox or Ganondorf, especially with Fox, you have one move where he'll go, fire! And then when he dies, it's like, ugh! Like it's super deep. Like everything, like he'll kick it, whoo! It's like, that's better to, not have everybody talking at once.
Yeah, and I think
we forgot to record the sound effect. Randy, get over here.
Exactly.
Yeah, what probably was happening was they were using sound effects from the previous games, and then they had to record new sound effects, so they just used whoever was the current actor.
Yeah, probably. Because a lot of them,
like these legacy voice clips and then new voice clips, and it didn't make any sense.
And I wouldn't say I didn't like it. I actually liked the entire Smash presentation, and I'm gonna like it on its own, and I think in a different context it's awesome as an E3 presentation, and with the pacing that led up to it and how there was nothing after it, those details were taking up time that could have given us 30 seconds of Metroid Prime 4, or even I would have taken a 3DS game, the next whatever Samus Returns people were working on. But
right, if they
context,
it seemed like they needed just one more thing that wasn't Smash. Like the Ridley thing was a POW, but then they should have like fade to black and then pop back like, hold up.
Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey DLC.
Yeah, something.
Isle Delfino, anything. So we got 6 months for Smash Bros. To come out. You think we'll get a full Smash Direct? You think we'll get a couple character reveals between
Smash Mini Direct probably.
Mini Direct.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the release date. December. That was way later than I expected.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could have predicted that. I should have thought, because I wrote down November. I was like, everybody's saying September because of Switch Online, but thinking about Nintendo, they're not always the best at making things release simultaneously. So I went with November instead, but I should have thought that's Pokemon. Smash will come out in December. Yeah. Yeah, it's a long time to wait.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when some of us had hopes for September. But
so, Smoldering Furry, hi, welcome to the channel. Or Fury, sorry. Smoldering Fury, completely different.
God is the Smoldering Furry. We already established that.
Asks, do you guys play Fortnite? Ryan does.
I play Fortnite.
Yeah,
and I think the rest of us might be fixing to sometime in the near future. So yeah,
it's free.
I'll have to teach these fools how to play, but yeah, I think we can get it done.
Yes, but for now we are fixing to wrap up this live show reaction. We are planning a normal live show for Saturday, and if you're joining Two Button Crew for the first time, our main gig is a live stream that we do every week where we combine modern Nintendo with retro Nintendo, all the latest news, play an old classic edition game. It's a great time. It's really the best place you can get that kind of Nintendo fandom variety.
Indeed. We are the one.
We are the one. I definitely feel like I'm missing something to say.
If you are joining us for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Unless you're Glenn, he's more of a dub than a sub guy. So
yeah, dubs before subs.
I'm happy. I know I'm going to be happy once I get Smash Bros.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm looking forward to watching some of those tournaments that I missed. Any last words, fellows?
I don't think so. The tournaments are worth it. They're very fun to watch. Even the Splatoon one was a lot of fun because it was so back and forth.
Awesome. Well, go play Fortnite, play some Octo expansion tomorrow, and meet back with the crew on Saturday. We will announce the time. Take a look at our social media or stay subscribed on YouTube to see that. Thank you, Simeon.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Simeon.
Thank you, Glenn.
Doc Glennis. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.